Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So if you like this shirt, my friends, once again, I would love for you guys to have one, and I'm going to make a way for that to happen. Let me know in the comment section if you would like a shirt like this. We've got the design. We can also get it out to you if you like. So let me know about the demand and we'll definitely get it to you. I mean, why wouldn't you love a shirt like this, man? Like, how good is this shirt? The design, got the ingredients, like woke dingbats, which is a favorite saying of mine, 100% offended people, logic free, I think it is. And so much of this incredible shirt was created by a very special person of mine. So I'll just leave it at that. So anyway, my friends, if you want to get a shirt, once again, let me know in the comment section below. All right. So today we're going to be talking about Kier Starmer, the UK Prime Minister, unfortunately. By the way, Justin Trudeau, good riddance, has resigned. He's going to stay on until March, until they can find a new leader. So more than likely, he's got a lot of time on his hands to destroy already what he's already destroyed, Canada. So like, got 2 more months until the guy is officially gone and we don't have to deal with him anymore. Good riddance. Cannot stand him at all. And I can't stand this guy, Kier Starmer. So Kier Starmer had a claim the other day, get this, that Islamophobia is the problem in England at the moment. Not mass immigration, not the economy, not the Muslim grooming gangs, none of that sort of stuff. Not the fact that Tommy Robinson is in prison, not the fact that police officers go after people for making a comment on Facebook, no less. Not the problem with men praying outside of an abortion clinic. None of that stuff is a problem to Kier Starmer, but the problem seems to be Islamophobia. Now, we saw one of the biggest scandals that still to this day is being unearthed, being uncovered, and being exposed. And that is the Muslim grooming gangs. So many of them. People that went to the police, people that tried to get help, were not able to get help. And that is truly egregious, especially in a Western country, no less. And you have people like Kier Starmer that decided, I'm going to prosecute a number of people, which he did. And we can give him credit for that. So a number of people did end up going to prison. But that does not even compare to how many people are free at the moment, still able to do what these other men that went to prison did and groom and R-word these innocent young girls. But no, according to Kier Starmer, mass immigration is not a problem. People just coming in left, right, and center. No, it's the fact, according to Kier Starmer, that Tommy Robinson is the enemy and the far right are the enemy. The ones that actually love England a lot and want the UK to be what it originally was, a great superpower. Now you have people like Kier Starmer in charge that just decide to go, Islamophobia, which, I mean, come on. If I'm actually going to be scared of anything, I'm going to be scared of a religion that thinks that I'm an infidel and wants to get rid of me. Thank you very much. I'm happy to be called that if you want, but that's not the problem that's facing the UK at the moment. I'll have you know. Many of you know that. So have a watch of this.
We've seen a devastating rise in Islamophobia, leaving people feeling fearful and unsafe in their own country. I've heard firsthand of women wearing hijab who are too scared to travel by public transport, of Muslim families being abused as they leave the mosque. The surge in Islamophobia is simply appalling. Muslim women and girls disproportionately targeted, mosques forced to ramp up security, and British Muslims questioned as if they are terrorists. I do not want Britain to be a place where British Muslims are not able to be their whole selves, where they feel they must hide or tone down who they are for fear of being attached to views that are not their own, where they're asked to apologise for the actions of people who do not act in their name. Our Britain is one where the enormous contributions of British Muslims are recognised and celebrated, their stories heard, their lives free from discrimination. As leader of the Labour Party, I am indebted to the contributions of Muslim members, activists and politicians who make our party what it is today. I'd like to thank Muslim organisations and mosques who work tirelessly to raise awareness and shine a light on the scale of Islamophobia.
Yeah, women in hijabs are too scared to travel by public transport because clearly Islamophobia is the reason for that. Not the fact that a vast majority of them would definitely be there illegally, but the fact is they're afraid, so we can only focus on them, not what their husbands are more than likely doing to innocent young girls. Yeah, so there's that, my friends. And then we get on to the important subject matter of Keir Starmer addressing the public on BBC News, legacy media, ladies and gentlemen. The legacy media lie through the skin of their teeth. And like Piers Morgan did today in addressing the claims that Tommy Robinson, going to Piers, isn't a political prisoner. He's there for contempt of court. And same with Keir Starmer. All of their comments are very much similar. They're exactly the same talking points. I found it quite interesting. If you guys haven't seen the link, it's as if like Keir Starmer and Piers and even Nigel Farage, for example, decided to all get together and pile on Tommy Robinson at the same time because they know Tommy can't do anything. Piers hates Tommy's guts. Keir Starmer hates Tommy's guts. It's clear as day because Tommy has the voice of the people. Kier doesn't. Starmer is just destroying the UK as we know it. Nigel is just Labor in disguise. It's clear as day, mate. So have a watch of Keir Starmer address the public or address the media.
On the question of Elon Musk, look, I think most people are more interested in what's going to happen to the NHS, frankly, than what's happening on Twitter. But you asked me a really important question that's been in the news for the last few days. I am going to, with permission, just answer it quite fully because it is a really important set of issues. And let me start with this. Child sexual exploitation is utterly sickening, utterly sickening. And for many, many years, too many victims have been completely let down by perverse ideas about community relations, or by the idea that institutions must be protected above all else. And they've not been listened to and they've not been heard. And when I was chief prosecutor for 5 years, I tackled that head on because I could see what was happening. And that's why I reopened cases that had been closed and supposedly finished. I brought the first major prosecution of an Asian grooming gang. In the particular case, it was in Rochdale, but it was the first of its kind. There were many that then followed that format. I changed the whole prosecution approach because I wanted to challenge and did challenge the myths and stereotypes that were stopping those victims being heard. So we changed the entire approach, not without criticism at the time, I might add. And when I left office, we had the highest number of child sexual abuse cases being prosecuted on record. Now, that record is not secret. As a public servant, it's there for all of you or everybody to see. I also called for mandatory reporting of child sexual abuse. I'd called for that a decade ago. The Tories did nothing about that for those 10 long years, including when the J report came out nearly 3 years ago now. Central plank, mandatory reporting, still hasn't been done. We're going to do it. But let's just to bring it in closer, and I will answer you on Jess Phillips in particular, because those that are spreading lies and misinformation as far and as wide as possible, they're not interested in victims. They're interested in themselves. Those who are cheerleading Tommy Robinson, not interested in justice. They're supporting a man who went to prison for nearly collapsing a grooming case, a gang grooming case. These are people who are trying to get some kind of vicarious thrill from street violence that people like Tommy Robinson promote. And those attacking Jess Phillips, who I'm proud to call a colleague and a friend, not protecting victims. Jess Phillips has done 1,000 times more than they've even dreamt about when it comes to protecting victims of sexual abuse throughout her entire career. And so just as I took on the criminal justice system and the institutions when I was chief prosecutor, I'm prepared to call out this for what it is. We've seen this playbook many times, whipping up of intimidation and threats of violence, hoping that the media will amplify it. Now, Jess Phillips does not need me or anybody else to speak on her behalf. But when the poison of the far right leads to serious threats to Jess Phillips and others, then in my book, a line has been crossed. I enjoy the cut and thrust of politics, the robust debate that we must have, but that's got to be based on facts and truth, not on lies, not on those who are so desperate for attention that they're prepared to debase themselves and their country. So this government will get on with the job of protecting victims, including child sexual abuse, mandatory reporting, accelerating the processes. But what I won't tolerate is this discussion and debate based on lies without calling it out. What I won't tolerate is politicians jumping on the bandwagon simply to get attention, when those politicians sat in government for 14 long years, tweeting, talking, but not doing anything about it, now so desperate for attention that they're amplifying what the far right is saying. So that's what I say about Jess Phillips.
If you think that it's utterly sickening to exploit a young child, Kier, yes, you may have done something in the past. You may have prosecuted a certain number of individuals that went to jail, but not enough was done. It's still going on today. It's still really bad today. Oh, it's horrible. We shouldn't be going after the individual that he mentioned. We shouldn't be going after her. Why should we go after her? She's doing a fantastic job, even though she decided to block more inquiries in coming through. We can't do that. Enough's enough. So if this is truly egregious, Kier, you would actually do whatever it takes to stop it. But no, you want the Muslim vote. You want people to see you in a particular light. So you say that it's egregious, it's disgusting, but you're not prepared to have a spine and really do something proper about it. You're not prepared to go after every single last one that R-worded these girls, that abused them. You're not prepared to do any of that. You're prepared to stand up there and say, look what we have done. But it's not enough. You know it's not enough. But yet you're quite happy to stand up there and lie through the skin of your teeth and say that it's Tommy Robinson's fault that we almost didn't get these prosecutions. Again, same talking points. The 5 individuals that Tommy brought forward, the judge apparently claimed that they're non-credible witnesses for some reason. And apparently Tommy almost destroyed the case. Like, it's, to me, rather interesting, right? It's just when you got politics in this matter, how can you really trust anything aside from what I believe Tommy Robinson has said, right? I personally don't trust anything that Kier or Piers or even Nigel has said recently, because the more I do research on it and the more I listen to people like Elon Musk, the more I'm going, something's not adding up here. And why is it that they've all got the same talking points? Fascinating, isn't it? So people like Keir Starmer, who is the UK Prime Minister, is able to change things for the better. Will he? Probably not. It's clear as day. He doesn't have the UK citizens' best interest at heart. He's only got going after individuals like Tommy Robinson, who does have the UK citizens' best interest at heart. Why is it that he can walk around the UK and people love him? So this person actually addressed Piers Morgan's comment, which is still the same what Keir Starmer said. Morgan, you are a, you know what? The judge refused to listen to the 5 witnesses that supported Tommy Robinson. That Syrian boy was and is a menace to society. Yeah. Tommy got railroaded in prison. You know it, and you've been exposed for the COVID jabs lies you pushed. You have no credibility. You have blood on your hands. Your day of judgment is very close for the fraud you are. See, a lot of people actually are starting to see through Piers Morgan's lies as well. And I disagree a lot with Piers Morgan on the Tommy Robinson issue. A lot of people in America also agree that Tommy Robinson is a political prisoner. They can see it. They know. And then Piers is going, oh, we can see through him. Kier Starmer's going, we can see through him. He's a hooligan. We don't want him because you know that he's dangerous. You know that the people love him and they stand for the truth and all that sort of stuff, and you don't. Like, you don't trust the politician is what I'm trying to point out. Here's the thing, Piers. Tommy's life story, warts and all, is publicly available. People have watched and followed him for well over a decade. They've seen all the attacks against him like this. He's more popular than he's ever been. They see through this type of thing. You should ask yourself why. And you assume so much. You believe judges and courts are trustworthy. You assume governments don't lie or buy witnesses or silence. Respectfully, Piers, no one in America would be talking about Tommy Robinson if Englishmen would take a stand to make the UK safe for young English girls and actively and unapologetically pursue justice for the heinous crimes committed against them. It's horrifying to watch British politicians cower and deflect, which is exactly what Kier Starmer is doing. You heard him sound proud and arrogant in that video. Look what I did. Look what, this is the prosecution and these are the people we put behind bars. That's great. But what about the thousands of others that are still running the streets? What about the crime rate in the UK at the moment? Oh, can't do anything about that. Why would we? It's totally absurd that you have a politician that stands up there, and not just a politician, but a member of the media, and same with Nigel Farage, exactly the same talking points. If you haven't seen it, you should do some investigative journalism yourself, maybe. But they're all talking the same stuff. And it's only, funny enough, independent people that are seeing through this, and the likes of Elon Musk, Trump, and many others in America. Like, we can see through Piers, Starmer, and Nigel, but they can't see through their own bull. If you ask me, they can't see through their own hatred of Tommy. And that to me is ridiculous and absurd. Anyway, that's enough from me. Also, just before we go, let me know in the comment section below if you want your own shirt like this. We'll make it happen if we get enough people that are interested. But you guys take care, you be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.